Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining the Wellbeing Week webinars presented by Affinity Federal Credit Union. Today's topic is career well-being, a plan to reach the pinnacle. My name is Nicholas Vitaliano, and I'm the Wellbeing Communications Specialist here at Affinity. Today's presenter is Tammy Latif, Human Resource Generalist at Affinity. As a reminder, this webinar is being recorded, and the link to watch the presentation again will all be shared with you in a follow-up email to be sent out very soon. Also, if you have any questions you would like to ask during the presentation, feel free to use the Q&A option on your panel, and we'll be more than happy to address them at the end of the webinar. Thank you. Take it away, Tammy.
Thanks, Nick. I'm really glad to be with you here today. As Nick mentioned, my name is Tammy Latif. I'm the HR Generalist in the People and Culture Department here at Affinity Federal Credit Union. My background is in HR and talent acquisition, where I've been for about 25 years. That's hard to believe. I hope that you find today's topic helpful and informative as you continue in your career journey. So let's first define career well-being. What is career well-being? Career well-being is liking what you do and finding fulfillment in the work that you're doing every day. We spend a great deal of time at work, and it's important to find our work fulfilling and meaningful. Now, that doesn't mean that all days are going to be perfect, but looking at the big picture, we want it to be one that is rewarding and provides us with a sense of professional contentment. According to a Gallup study, the quality of our work experience has 2.5 to 3 times the impact of the number of days or hours worked. That may seem simple, but to anyone who has endured one of those long days, you ever had a long day? A long day at work, we can certainly attest to this. It can be draining, so we want to make sure that the work we're doing is meaningful and is fulfilling. So career planning, what is it? Before we go into creating the plan, let's discuss exactly what that is. So a career plan is your strategy for the steps that you're going to take to reach your pinnacle. If your career was a house, think of yourself as the architect. What is your design? And take time to reflect here. Where do you see yourself down the road? What's the ultimate job for you? Remember to dream big. Your career plan is meant to grow and change over many years. It's never going to stay the same. It's a normal and a natural progression. We very often never end up where we started, and that's okay. It's the journey and it's the destination. So why have a career plan? Why do we need one? A career plan gives you purpose. It gives you control and a path to follow throughout your working life. It's kind of your North Star. When you're in doubt, maybe confused, have some missteps along the way, you can always go back to your career plan, kind of get you back on track. Count on circumstances changing along the way. But when you decide to set a goal for yourself and you have a long-term aspiration or a very ambitious goal, it helps to separate them into manageable steps. And we'll get into more details on that in just a moment. So getting started, create a worksheet. I found that this is really helpful. It can be a simple Excel sheet. It does not have to be anything fancy. Just jot down your ideas. As you're getting started, the order doesn't matter. Just get them down and look at them. Like a sculptor with a lump of clay, take away what's not necessary or what doesn't fit into your plan. And keep taking away what is not needed from your plan. Make adjustments until that masterpiece emerges. And keep in mind, plans and circumstances will change, and your career plan is no different. Make adjustments and adapt as necessary as you move through your career and you develop professionally and grow. So let's take it step by step. Let's discuss these steps. The first one, obviously, is defining your main objective, why we're here. So it all starts here. Be as clear and honest with yourself as you possibly can. And like I said, dream big. This is your whole career we're talking about. So it's gonna be a big one here. And then you can begin your plan by creating short-term goals, which are about 1 to 2 years. And then also create long-term goals, like 3 to 5 years. Those goals are going to help you move towards the main goal. So prioritize them in 2 categories. They can be critical important, and nice to have. So it helps break them down and group them. Your career journey will be filled with twists and turns and will not follow the straightforward path that you've outlined, right? You've created this path and it's not going to go exactly as you've planned. Just life is that way. So expect the unexpected. Even if things are going just as you've envisioned, it's a good idea to sit down and examine at least once a year to review and confirm that the plan you've outlined is still accurate and realistic. Check in with yourself and stay on track. You may find it helpful to drill down the short and long-term goals into action steps, drill down even further. What will you accomplish this month, this year? For example, maybe your pinnacle goal is to become a CPA. Now, we know that no one becomes a CPA overnight, but an example of a step in this process to that pinnacle goal of the CPA might be to research the CPA exam requirements. Another might be to seek out a professional mentor who is a CPA. Check in with them. What's required? What do you recommend? What were some missteps? What knowledge can I glean from you? A longer term goal in this process might be to begin courses to earn your degree or just to continue your education. So if you break those steps, those bigger goals down into small, manageable steps, they'll be more palatable, they'll seem easier to accomplish, and they'll help you along the way. Sorry about that. As you prepare to begin this process, ask yourself important questions and hold yourself accountable for making progress. Keep in mind, achieving your goals requires a combination of self-awareness, dedication, and adaptability. By understanding your strengths and interests, committing to continuous learning and networking, you can achieve a successful, fulfilling career. Do not get discouraged. You probably don't have the experience or skills to fill the jobs that you want now. No one does. But you can make some assumptions about your future. What qualifications? Think about what you're missing. How are you going to fill in those gaps? And as we discussed, create your plan of short-term realistic goals that you can make progress on now, you can work on now to reach and kind of aspire towards that main pinnacle goal. This can make the pinnacle goal seem more attainable. Like we said, if you break it up into those more manageable steps, those action steps, and make sure you're holding those regular check-ins to monitor your progress and hold yourself accountable for achieving them. Prioritize yourself. It's really easy as we go through life gets in the way, right? Things happen, you have tasks to do, but make sure you're kind of coming back and prioritizing yourself. As you go along, challenges are going to be a certainty, but each step brings you closer to your goal. We learn from our career experiences, even the setbacks will teach us something. So stay focused, be proactive, embrace those opportunities for growth along the way. If you persevere and you have a clear plan, you can turn your career dreams into a reality. So keep going. Even the smallest step is still a step closer to your goal. Don't give up. That's it. I want to open it up for questions, but I do thank you for your time and attention. I'm happy to answer any questions. Affinity is here to support you in your financial journey. We wish you the absolute best of luck in your career path and your plan, wherever it may take you. And thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy. We'll give it a second to see if there's any questions in the Q&A panel.
Sure.
All right, we actually have one here. Can you offer up some tips for resume building?
Love that question. We actually, I think, Nick, we have a class on resume building. Not sure if that's coming up. Yes. So my advice on resume building is, I think we just posted something on the blog about it. A couple of the tips. When you're looking for the job that you want, my advice is look and see how close of a match that is with your resume. if there are keywords that employers are looking for in that job posting, make sure you're highlighting them so the employer, the recruiter, and the ATS systems, those AI systems, are picking up that you are a match for that job. So make sure that you're highlighting those skills and opportunities that you've had along your career. Make sure that you're reviewing and revising that resume for every single job you apply for. Make sure it's concise and make sure the keywords are in there. And, just as simple as checking for spelling errors, making sure your contact information is up to date. I'm a big proponent of having a LinkedIn page. There's a lot of ways to get in touch with you that way. And don't ever stop looking. Don't ever stop looking, and don't ever stop revising that resume. That is your tool. That is your calling card. Make sure you're out there on the big platforms. LinkedIn, there's a way to upload your resume, certainly, and Indeed is probably the biggest one that we have available as recruiters. So make sure that you have a profile out on Indeed and your resume is searchable. I hope that helps. Great
Awesome.
question.
Let's see if we have any other ones here. So we have one here. I've heard the term DISC before. Can you explain what that means?
DISC, I believe, is, well, in our terms, we call it DISC.
Yeah.
And that is really a tool to kind of communicate. So you learn your DISC style. And I think we actually have a course on that that's going on today. It's really a communication tool. You learn your own style, and it not only helps you recognize your own communication kind of proclivities, but also how to, if I'm a D, which I think is dominant, and Nick is another type, it shows me how to communicate effectively with other people who have different communication styles. But I'd highly recommend that class, and I believe we offer it, Nick.
Yeah, super. We actually have another one here. I have an interview coming up. What kind of questions should I ask the interviewer about the organization role I'm applying for?
These are excellent questions. Congratulations on your interview. First of all, lots and lots of luck. My advice is to research the company. Check in on those Glassdoor reviews. Those can be really, really helpful. And when you're looking through those reviews, look for patterns of behavior. Don't just look for maybe one person who wasn't happy. Pay attention more to patterns. If you notice a lot of people are reviewing the company and they're very, very happy, I would definitely kind of put that to the side. That's a really great sign. You can Google the company for sure, but questions that I would ask are, perhaps, what does my first 90 days on the job look like? What kind of training is offered? Is it on the job training? Is it classroom training? Why is the job available? Maybe someone was promoted out of this job and now you're bringing me in. If you're interviewing with a hiring manager, what are your goals for the position? What are your goals for the department? How do you see me taking on a role and contributing to those goals? And I would ask about company culture. A real personal favorite question of mine is to any interviewer that is speaking to me is, do you like your job? It's very easy for you to pick up on their response. If you're looking at them, their reaction to that question can be really, really powerful. If they're happy personally in their job, then that is a real tell of if you're maybe going to be happy there. And I also love questions about organizational culture. That is a huge thing. Is this a place where I can be happy to work and be proud to work? Is another huge one. Great question.
Awesome. Great information, Tammy. I believe that's all the questions we have currently. I just want to thank you, Tammy, so much for providing all this amazing information, and thank you everyone for joining today. And Tammy, if you have any last words to say?
No, just thank you for your time and attention today. Again, Affinity is here to support you in your financial journey. We're here to help. And thank everyone for their time, and just best of luck on your career path. Just keep going. Like I said, every step, even if it's a small one, is a step forward. So keep going, and best of luck to everyone.
Love it. Thank you so much, Tammy. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.